provide help to someone is called an activity. While classifying activities, I told you that entire activities are classified into two groups. First one is economic activities and second one is non-economic activities. Economic activities and second one is non-economic activity. You found all these things in the video that I made yesterday. Yes, right? First tell me, have I got the previous video that I made? I'm waiting for your answer. I am waiting for your answer. हाँ तो बोलो, क्या आप मुझे सुन रहे हैं? अनु
has not joined the class.
Oh.
अभी सर अनंत है, शुभम गुप्ता from चातर, सुहानी और सुनिधि सर.
Sunidhi, are you getting me?
Yes, sir.
Did you get the video?
No, sir.
You didn't get video.
कौन सा? कल भेज देगा.
हाँ कल तो मैं
ग्रुप उसको वो YouTube पे आ चुका है. आपने YouTube चेक नहीं किया क्या? YouTube पे अपडेटेड है.
No, sir.
तो YouTube में देखना चाहिए. वीडियो में कोई इसीलिए मैं दोबारा उसको डिस्कस. कोई बात नहीं, थोड़ा सुन लीजिए इस बात को. उस वीडियो में थोड़ा सुन लीजिए. तो जैसे कि मैंने बताया कि इकोनॉमिक्स में मैं जो पढ़ाना जा रहा हूँ, वो वीडियो जो मैं बनाया था, जिस टॉपिक पर बनाया था, उस पर डिपेंडेंट है, बेस्ड है. इसलिए मुझे लगा था कि बिफोर गोइंग टू say or I must give you something on which the topic that we are going to read is fully dependent. In the video, the definition of activity, and the definition of activity is a piece of work that we do either to earn our livelihood or to provide help to someone else. It is called an activity. In that video, you will also find the classification of activities. And activities are classified into two parts. One is economic activity, and the second one is non-economic activity. Let's see which type of activities are called economic activities. The activities that we do to earn our livelihood or living. We do money to run. Are called economic activities. For example, working in factories. For example, offices, etc. These activities help an individual to earn his or her livelihood. This is why these activities are called economic activities. Let's see which type of activities are called non-economic activities. The activity that we do either to help someone or to entertain us, such activities are called non-economic activities. And these activities do not help us in earning money. This is why these activities are called non-economic activities. And if you see the example of non-economic activities, if a doctor treats his own son, then he this activity of the doctor will be the example of non-economic activity, because the doctor surely won't charge a fee from him. But at the same time, if the same doctor treats a patient, surely this activity now will become the activity of economic activity, because the doctor will surely charge fee from the patient for providing his service to him. Probably you have understood what is the basic difference between an economic activity and a non-economic activity. In that video, you will also find the classification of economic activity. So, economic activities are classified into three groups. The first one is called primary activity. The second one is called secondary activities. And the third, let's see the relation of all these three groups of economic activities. Primary activity. The activities in which primary products or natural products are grown are known as primary activities. I repeat, the activity in which primary products, or you may say natural products, are grown. Such activities are called primary activities. For example, agriculture or in this activity, generally different crops are grown, like wheat, paddy, etc. Fishing, in fishing, fishes are caught, while in mining, different types of minerals are mined. The product that we get from primary activity, we find in their natural form. That is, a person in many activities gets paddy, not rice. In the same, he gets wheat, not flour. So we have seen that all the activity in which primary products or natural products are grown are called primary activities. Example: farming, forestry, fishing, mining, etc. are the example of primary activity. Let's move towards the secondary activity. And the secondary activities are the activities in which the form of primary products or natural products are changed into another form. I repeat, secondary activities are the activities in which primary products or natural products are transformed into another form. Such activities are called secondary activities. For example, in rice mills, paddy is converted into rice. In the same way, in flour mills, wheat is converted into flour. In the same way, in sugar mills, sugar cane is converted into sugar. In the textile mills, first cotton is converted into yarn. Thereafter, yarn is converted into piece of cloth. So you have seen that in these activities, the form of natural product or primary products are changed into another form. Let's move towards another type of economic activity, which is tertiary activities. Tertiary activities are the activities which help the trade or commerce of both primary product as well as secondary product. I repeat, tertiary activities are the activities which help the trade and commerce of products as well as secondary products. Such activities are called tertiary activities. For example, where both primary product as well as secondary product are either bought or sold. The same way, means of transport help to carry primary products or secondary products to market. In the same way, godown or storage, where we store both primary products as well as secondary products. In the same way, bank or banking sector provide us financial help to run our trade, business, or even manufacturing activity. Insurance helps a trader in meeting loss if they occurs due to some unpleasant incident. A part of these, I beg your pardon. Since someone is asking something, किसी को problem है पूछ लो, क्योंकि ये सारा you will get everything in the video. Can be in YouTube. It was very necessary for me that I should repeat all the things that on which I made a video. That's why I'm reading topic once. So tertiary activities are the activity which help the trade and commerce of both primary and secondary products. If we see another type of tertiary activities, then we must say that doctors and other administrative departments or departments of administration are also the examples of tertiary activities. So we have seen the classification, but this is not all. Besides these classification, economic activity are also classified into some other types, that is farm activities and non-farm activities. Let's see which type of activities are called farm activities. And its name suggests that the activities which are associated with farming are called farm activities, such as plowing, harvesting, threshing, irrigating the field or crops. These activities are called farm activities. Yes? Is there any problem? Is there any problem? If you will go on talking during the class, it will be very difficult for you to get the things which is being taught. So all these things to your family member and ask them to remain silent. The farm activities. Non-farm activities are the activities which are not based on farming. For example, running saw, because these are the example of non-farming activities. This chapter has you have seen that Palampur village, Palampur had many types of factories. Among them, is one. Let's see the advantage of electricity in Palampur.
चार्ज लगा मैच करें वही तो चार्ज कितना परसेंट है 14% मैं खराब है क्लोज हो जाता
Yes, talking.
लगा लगा
लोग उससे बात करते रहते हैं, मतलब फैमिली मेंबर वगैरह।
आप लोग क्यों बात कर रहे हो क्लास में?
भाई मांग के लेना
अगर आपस में कभी बच्चा हो रहा है, हाँ हाँ यहाँ पे आप पानी है, पानी है,
ठीक है।
हाँ. So the first year we had seen that Palampur had many facilities and like electricity or school, primary school, high school, dispensary, goodness of road. Big facility make Palampur an ideal village. Let's see the advantages of electricity in Palampur. So like other places, electricity has also proved booms in Palampur. First advantage that the people of Palampur are deriving from electricity. Electricity has been started for lighting purpose. Second advantage, it has enabled tube wells to run, to irrigate crops. Third, it has also enabled dispensary to run. Fourth one, it has helped to a number of small scale manufacturing activity. It has also helped to a number of small scale manufacturing activity. Activities in the village. So these are the advantages that the people of Palampur are deriving from electricity. And this point is very important. And question based on this fact is oftenly asked in the exam. Okay. Let's move towards the engagement of the people of Palampur. So we have seen that in the beginning of the chapter that a number of activities are done or are practiced in the village called Palampur, which is a hypothetical village similar to the villages of Western UP. And now we are going to see the engagement of the people, or you may say involvement of the people of this village. So let's move, divide the topic. Let me write the topic. And topic is engagement. Engagement of the people. You may say involvement of the people of Kolhapur. See, most of the people of this village are engaged in farming or agriculture. Some of them are also engaged in non-farm activities. Non-farm activity means the activities which are not based on farming. Non-farm activities such as small scale farming, manufacturing, transport, shopkeeping, means running shop, etc. So we have seen that in a Indian village, maximum persons of this village are to engage in farming, while some of them are engaged in non-farm activities such as small scale manufacturing, transport, or shopkeeping activity, or running various types of shops. These are the activity in which people of this village are engaged. You have seen that some people of this village are engaged in small scale manufacturing activity. It shows that the activity related to production are also done in this village. Production, whether it is being done in village area or in urban area, these activity, that is production activity, needs something, requires something, and so we can say that aim of production is to produce goods and services. Means the production activities either being carried on in rural areas or whether they are being carried on urban areas. Their purpose is to produce goods and services, but not even a single production activities can produce goods or service unless they get several things. And the things that a production activity needs is called its requirement. So see, let's move towards the requirement of production. Let me write. Let me write. So topic to the organization. Organization of production. Production. As I told you earlier, or a minute ago, the aim of production is production activity, is to produce the goods or services that we want, okay, but unless getting something which play crucial role in the production activity, not even a single production activity can produce goods or services. And the things that a production activity needs is called the requirement of this activity, that is production activity. So let's see the requirements. Of requirements for production. Every production needs four requirements. The requirements to produce goods and services. So we are seeing organization of production. The aim of production is to produce the goods or services that we want. And requirement for production is, as I told a minute ago, that every production activity needs four requirements to produce goods and services. Let's see the requirements. First, I am wiping it, releasing it. Let me write. Here is all the requirements that production activities need either to produce goods or services. The first requirement is land. land. Second requirement is labor. Labor. Third one is physical capital. And fourth one is human capital. Fourth one is human capital. Let's elaborate all the requirements. Let's explain. So first of all, land. First, production needs land or other material or natural resources such as water, forest, minerals, etc. See, a production activities need land where factory or workshop can be established or can be constructed. In other words, each and every production activity needs land to construct its workhouse, factory, etc. Besides this, it also needs natural resources. You can ask why natural resources are kept in the category of land. Because most of the natural resources that the production activity needs remain associated with this land. And these natural resources can be water, forest, minerals, etc. Water is needed for the production of jute. As you know, you might have read in the previous classes that our jute industries are located, maximum of our jute industries are located on the banks of river Hooghly. What has enabled jute industry to emerge only or to concentrate only on the bank of river Hooghly? Because the processing of jute needs ample store of water. In the same way, we have some factories or pharmaceuticals which produce various goods or product based on the raw material that they get from forest. In the same way, mineral-based industry need various minerals to make products. So land, the categories of land also be kept. So we have come to know that each and every production activities need land. Besides it, it also needs natural resources such as water, forest, mineral, etc. Let's see another requirement. So this is all for today, and don't worry, I'll give your question through video. So don't forget to collect the questions based on the top topics. That's all.
थैंक यू सर।
कोई दिक्कत है?
कोई डाउट है क्या किसी को? प्लीज रेज हैंड। अनु, क्लास इतना लेट क्यों ज्वाइन करते हो आप?
आज लेट हो गया भैया, फोन चार्ज नहीं था।
प्लीज कोई डाउट है क्या? अफरीन, कोई डाउट है क्या?
नो सर।
अनंत, कोई डाउट है?
अगर कोई डाउट हो तो पूछिए।
सुनिधि, पिंकी, कोई डाउट है आप लोगों को?
नो सर।
ये क्लास यही खत्म हो रही है। शिक्षक को ग्रुप के माध्यम से मिल जाएगी।